Bev, well, firstly, how is Perth? Have you settled in and have you acclimatized to the 5 hour time difference with New Zealand?
Yeah, I think for me personally, it's been some early mornings, but I don't mind it that way. But yeah, I think the group getting here a few days early, I can definitely see the benefit of a back-to-back away trip. Get acclimatized, get if you ever get acclimatized, but really get the jet lag out of the system, ready to roll for tomorrow. So that's good.
I understand you're training late today. Is that just to try and help with that acclimatization as well? Train closer to kickoff time, which is going to be obviously midnight in New Zealand.
Yeah, we've done two early mornings to avoid the midday heat. And then yeah, tonight just to get used to kick-off time, get a feel for that, and to be honest, trying to get their bodies to be able to operate a little bit later. And hopefully they can get a sleep in as well and be ready to roll come 7 o'clock Perth time.
Well, has the team responded to what must have been a pretty, you know, gut-wrenching defeat to Melbourne City, given the way that the team played and concede from the only shot on target, etc.?
Yeah, and I think that's it, right? I think we play that game 9 times out of 10, and the result is different based on the performance, based on the stats. But I think we're a team that's grown, right? I think every game we've got better, we've got more consistent. From an overall performance, the last two games have been across 90 minutes that I've been really happy with. And I think it's at the fine margins, right? Going into that week, in the set play session, I'm like, these little details matter when you play some of the best teams. And I think in that moment, it was poor defending. We've unpicked that, but we've also unpicked the great work that they did for the remainder of the game. And I think we have to take that forward. And I think the challenge for us is there's different types of teams, right, that you want to play. And we want to be the team off the back of a loss, yet a winning performance. That they're the team you don't want to play, right? The ones that have got the bit between their teeth and they're ready to go and perform again to that same level. But I think what I was most pleased with is like away performance and not starting sluggish. And, we've put in place some little things that I think will help with away trips. And I think you could see the benefit of some of that. I think we didn't start slow and we put out a great performance. I think we've got to be proud of that.
You touched on it a bit before, but how good is it having the week in Perth as a bit of a camp as well, so that players can become even closer than they might already be?
Yeah, and I think that's the opportunity with away trips, right? You get more time with players, you get to bond as a team. Last night we had a nice team activity where you had to paint someone in the team and guess who it is and have a little bit of a something nice to say about each other. So that was really cool. I think those little moments are the things that bring teams together. We've had karaoke on the bus, all of those little things that just show you that besides when you're on a football pitch, this team want to run for each other, they want to perform for each other, and you win together, you lose together. And I think although we've broken our unbeaten run, we're ready to take that on again. So I think we've got a together team who know the bigger vision and can see the context of, really taking it to what has been a team that's just been on a crazy run in the A-League. I was really proud of their performance.
You obviously had a couple of players make their first appearance for the Phoenix at the weekend, and Zoe Benson and Lucia Leon, obviously at completely different parts of their career. How impressed were you with Zoe, given that she'd only spent a few days with the team and had come straight from Auckland United and winning the National League?
Yeah, I thought she did really well. The poor girl has been thrust into the team. She's on a away trip, still getting to know people, still getting to know how we play. We haven't had a lot of time with her to work on that, but I think what I'd seen in the very short space of time, a little bit like a Pia, is just has really good football instincts. And I think when you've got that, and then you've got a mentality as well on a pitch, I think you can throw them kids out there and they'll bring. I think she brings a directness to the team and isn't afraid to combine and take people on. And I think, yeah, she's got a really bright future. So I think we've done well with our youth recruitment and they're showing up big, which is great.
On the other side with Lucia Leon, obviously unfortunate to miss the start of the season with a hamstring injury. Is she now pushing closer to a start after that cameo off the bench?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, Lou brings a lot on the pitch, but also off the pitch to this team. She brings a real like calmness and nothing phases her in that sense. So I think to bring that level of experience and proven A-League experience into the team is really beneficial. But yeah, I think you can expect Lou to see some good minutes, which will be really beneficial for the team. I think at this point, back-to-back games, and I like to keep things fresh a little bit. So I think it'll be good opportunity for anyone who gets in that lineup.
House. Probably the million-dollar question that most are asking on social media at the moment.
What was the question? Sorry, I don't know if it cut out.
How's Samba?
Oh yeah, Samba's good. I think to be fair, it was like the 59th minute and she could only play 60 in that game. So, it probably happened at the right time. But yeah, Samba's fine.
Perth, what have you made of them so far this season?
Yeah, I think the table itself probably isn't doing them justice. I think they definitely have threat going forward. They can be direct. They've got a dynamic, probably front three that can interchange well. They play a similar system to us. So yeah, I think we've got to show them the respect of what they can do going that way. And then I think we've obviously identified some areas that I think we can hurt them. But I think, it's always when you're on the road, home team, they'll be out to also put their sort of start of the season right. And so we're going to have to really take it to them and bring our best and build on the performance we've had. I've said to the group that, the best teams grow every single game. They don't stagnate. And as long as we're doing that, we're on a journey to something where we're now starting to get partnerships and people who are consistently available. We've not really had that. But I definitely don't think we're taking Perth lightly, that's for sure.
That's it from anything from you, Roshi?
Yeah, obviously you don't get a New Zealand derby at this point in the A-League Women. With this being the old distance derby, is that something you can kind of take on a little bit and say this is a match that might mean a little bit more?
Yeah, I think, whenever you get the fixtures, you look at the way the Perth game is going to be, right? And probably they'll do the same coming all the way to Wellington. And so like we've been fortunate in the sense of this is off the back of another away game, so we have to take that opportunity. I'm devastated we didn't get points out of City because I think that would have been a 3 points, could have felt like a 6 points against City. Taking the point probably felt like 3 points. So I think, we have to maximise the opportunity we've been given in the sense of this back to back, and we're not coming to Perth on a one-off trip. And so, yeah, for sure, I think we and them, when we play each other, it's a bit of when are we playing them? Where does it fall? Because it's a mammoth travel trip and definitely time difference.
You've talked about, defensively you feel pretty solid. Maybe
Mhm.
offensively is where you want to lock in a little bit more. Is that the way that you want to organize the team, though? Would you prefer it to be have that defensive structure first and then work on the attacking flair as opposed to being in, 4-3, 5-4 games?
Mhm. Yeah, I think, I think it is part of my DNA and identity that I'm going to coach a team that's going to be hard to beat. I think hard work, people being on the same page is something that I think you can see in the identity of the team now. I think, do I want to be able to go and attack and bring more of that? Absolutely. But I think, to hit the woodwork 3 times against the City, it's coming. I think the process is there. Can we be better in the delivery in the box and, maybe towards the back end of games, still make sure we have that same commitment in there? Absolutely. But I do think now you've got Samba back in and we've got start to get some partnerships again. I've got no doubt it's coming. The process is there. And, for me as a coach, I think the worst thing I can do is just put spotlight right on that because I don't think any forward who's not relaxed is gonna go and finish and score 3 goals in a game. So I think the stick to the process. No alarm bells from me. I think we put out some really good performances. And for now we're turning the screw. We're putting more intention in that space. But yes, I think we're a pretty solid team. And what I do know over the long run is being a hard team to beat is what can go and win you a championship. And I think we are that as it stands. We just want to also turn the screw at the other end of the pitch.